So 2020 been a bit of a unusual year for the whole entire world, and also for the company Woodbury House. But I think it's been a great blessing because it's given us a bit of an opportunity to kind of relook at things and focus on the vision, because sometimes when you're inside the business, you're so caught up day to day with doing deals, making content, trying to do networking, you forget about your actual long-term plan. Woodbury House wants to be an international global brand that is going to shake up the art market, and we believe we've got one of the best products out there, which is Richard Hamilton. As I've stated a few times, I kind of lucked or fell into the Richard Hamilton market, but one thing I can almost kind of brag about is I've grown, and Woodbury House has grown with the Richard Hamilton market. Sadly, he died in 2017, but what it's done since his death is it's drawn a lot of the thoroughbred collectors to the table. And now we're seeing international demand from not just collectors and investors, but actually massive brands. So I'm here with my business partner, Joe. I'm also here with Lewis Burton, and we're looking to take the company. Our first stop is going to be here in Marbella with a hotel called Porto Romano, is that right?
Yeah.
Lewis is fantastic network, was an ex-professional tennis player, model. I mean, loads of things I can say about the chap, but the main thing is he's going to help us, connect us to some of the elite collectors and investors, and also business people. And then obviously Joe here, is the energy behind the company with me, helps me do sales, helps me connect to other people as well. So I'm really, really happy. So what's your initial thoughts about some of the meetings that we had so far, lads?
I mean, I'm just obviously really grateful to be. Obviously, Lewis's fantastic connections allowed us to be in Marbella today. Obviously, this is pre-meeting at the minute, so we're not too sure as to next steps and the sort of plan of action going forward. But it's exciting. I mean, look where we are. If we can get over here, we can introduce the ideology, tell the compelling Richard Hamilton story to the Marbella world. I think no doubt it's going to be successful, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant, and I've always had a passion for art, and I've had a fantastic opportunity with Woodbury House and you boys to utilise my contacts, and a very good friend of mine owns this hotel, and yeah, so it'd be great to do our first show in Marbella, and hopefully we can then expand and go around the world.
Well, I mean, even just off camera, as cheesy as sort of corny as this may sound, it's so important. Regardless whether you've got a good company, good connections, good product, it's so important to be working with like-minded people. So I'm quite grateful that you guys are, in the company and driving it forward. But also, like this particular place, I've only been here less than 24 hours, and I've already got positive vibes and feelings about how successful it's going to become. And everyone that we've been connected with so far, they can see the vision. And again, I think part of it is down to the product. Hamilton is absolutely fantastic. Regardless whether you invest into art or not, the story is so gripping, and I think you both would agree with that. But 100%. But also, like, I think, again, it sounds like I'm trying to brag a little bit, but we're young guys, and I think a lot of people find it quite refreshing. Most people in business are slightly normally older, a bit more mature. So when they see young, hungry guys, stepping out from London and then going to an unknown place almost to do business takes a bit of balls. And I think if you've got two people or a collection of people around you who are willing to take that calculated step, I think a lot of people admire that.
For sure, and I think it shows a lot about our character in this sort of COVID-19 period. Obviously, it's been a really testing time for the country. There may have been a lot of organisations, a lot of personnel out there maybe resting on their laurels, so to speak. All we've been doing is laying foundations so that as and when this is over, we can implement our POA moving forward, because we have got a big vision, we have got big goals, and it's not going to be easy for what we want to achieve. But I believe that we've got the grit, I believe we've got the fire in the belly to go and do that. And sitting here today on the 3rd of July shows that, because I think other companies, other corporations, other people, they're not travelling around, they're not networking in the capacity that we are. And I think if we continue to do this on a consistent basis, it's going to be massive for us all.
I think we've all got the same vision. I mean, and we had this opportunity to come out here like 3 days ago, and we booked our flight, and we're here today having a meeting. So I think that just shows what type of characters and people we are.
Yeah. And even your connection, Sean, he's already mentioned about Nobu Hotel in Ibiza, or Miami. There's multiple different.
And they just signed off.
opportunities.
They just signed off the Nobu in Marrakesh as well. So that's another opportunity that we could look into.
Yeah.
So this first event here in Marbella is huge for the Woodbury House.
I think the other, last thing I want to say on it is, I think we're slightly blessed with the art market, and especially dealing with street art, because it's the strongest movement since pop art. There's been some record-breaking results in recent times, and one that stands out for me is a guy called Ken Griffin, a billionaire, made all his money from hedge funds, and he bought a Jean-Michel Basquiat for over $100 million. That was the second time in history it's happened. And the reason why I like to hit on that point, even though art shouldn't all just be about investment, there's multiple different demographics. You have got the big collectors, you have got the investors, you've got the art lovers, and COVID hasn't affected every single one of those. You've still got the uber wealthy and rich who are still, even in this downturn, looking to spend and invest hundreds of millions of pounds. So it's only going to be, and just voicing what Joe said, it's only going to be the go-getters who are going to seize that opportunity, and we believe we bring a lot of value. So it's going to be quite exciting over the next couple of hours, the next couple of days over here.
Yeah, really looking forward to meeting Alina. I think we're meeting her in the next 10 minutes or so. So I think the initial meeting today is about assessing who we are, what we'd like to bring to the table, chuck some dates around and get people out here. My vision for it perhaps would be get some open-minded people, so some art lovers, some art fanatics, or just people who are looking to potentially diversify their money into sort of passion assets, if you like, and tell the Hambleton story. How would you do that? So between us three now, what would you look to do? Would it be just maybe the trailer to the movie, a Q&A, some networking? What's your initial thoughts?
I think you haven't seen the upstairs of the Owners Club, which is inside, and I haven't seen this myself at the minute, but I think you do like a drinks reception, canapes. We do our talk, watch the trailer, and then like you said, the Q&A after. And then we wait around maybe for a couple of hours,
Yeah. I've got no doubt it'd be very well received. We're in a beautiful place.
Even we were just having lunch at El Chiringuito on the beach, and Sean reached, and the guy behind us was a massive art collector.
Yeah.
So it's just being around this hotel, is just the people you meet is incredible.
Yeah, I think like look, unlike any other market, stocks and shares, currency, property, you name it, they're all kind of very, very corporate. And I'm not saying they can't be fun. I'm not saying that they can't be, you can't have fun doing them presentations. But let's face it, art, when you're talking about the background of the artist, some of the controversial things they've gone through, no matter what walk of life you're from, whether it's a corporate background or you're just a humble kind of normal person, when you're at an art event, the number one thing we are trying to portray, or two things really, is having fun, and number two, giving people an education, because people's tastes are shaped by education. If you were to look at, I know anything from an antique to a painting to a classic car, unless you really got educated about that particular item, it may hide some of your taste. The only way your true taste comes out is when you do presentations and people are having fun, they network, and they really understand the background of the artist. So yeah, however we need to portray that, people get educated and having fun at the same time, that's where it all starts.
Even for me, obviously, you boys are educating me about Richard Hamilton, and I haven't come across any of my clients or your clients that don't fall in love with the story, and it's brilliant,
I think everyone from the outset's a little bit taken aback by how sort of mad a character, how much of a sort of unique character he really was, but people are buying into that. And I think the majority of clients or collectors or dealers that I speak to, what they fall in love with is he was not set out to be wealthy. He set out because he loved to paint art, and he stayed true to that to the very, very end. And I think that resembles and sits well with a lot of people. And like I say, just being out here, I think if we can bring this story, we can introduce it to the masses out here, it will be well received. And You know, I'm feeling good sitting out here today. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Start of many great things to come, and I mean, I'm really looking forward to just getting this cracking and then onwards and upwards.
Yeah, really.
Definitely.
All right, nice one.
Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers, and I
Cheers,
want to
guys.
highlight beer, and tea.
Sparkling
Jake,
water.
Vodka. Vodka.
Vodka.